been a minute. Fix this. Yeah, I'm back. It's been a couple of weeks since I've done this, but today is my 1 year anniversary living in Berlin, or living in Germany in general. So, yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since I made one of these, but I was trying to change things up a bit. You notice like I'm in a different position, different background, but I'm trying to sort of set everything up a bit better in this position, and I'm kind of halfway through doing that. And that's why I haven't uploaded anything for a while. But since today is my anniversary of living in Germany, I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to record something because I think it's a good topic to talk about. But the reason why I took a break for a couple of weeks, firstly, I moved everything around in here and made it set up like this. I think it's just a bit nicer because I'm actually looking at my computer here and I have my speakers and stuff. So it's a bit more convenient, makes it easier for me to record this without having to set a bunch of stuff up. So I'm just trying to keep myself motivated to keep going because, you know, if I can keep consistent at something like this, then it'll turn into something else, which is, you know, I'm enjoying this, but I just want to stick at something for a while, you know, because I'm always swapping my attention to different things. So I'm trying to keep this going, so I'm making it as easy as possible for myself. And I like this setup. It's also good for me to make videos about other kinds of things. Like I want to make music about design stuff or music stuff or whatever else. So yeah, part of that was I needed to figure out how to get my monitor to be down here and not in front of the camera like this. So I figured that out. And I need to sort some stuff out with this microphone because it's like, it feels like it's right in my face, but you know, I mean, it's kind of what I want, but yeah, so I set everything up and then, I didn't have a stand or anything. And then also somebody came and visited me for a weekend, which was really fun. And I enjoyed that, but it just meant that I didn't do this. So that's my explanation. But yeah, I thought I would take the time to comment on or reflect on my first year living anywhere away from Melbourne or Victoria in Australia, and what I've learned and how the experience has been so far, I guess. It doesn't feel like it's been a year, but time just goes faster, and the older you get, it gets faster. But I guess I thought, you know, I had bigger expectations of what I would achieve in a year. You know, like before I came here, I sort of thought, within 6 months or so, I guess if I practice German, like, you know, half an hour every day or something, within 6 months, I should know enough that I can like begin to speak to people. And then when I start speaking to people in German, then I'll be practicing more and then I'll get better and better. And then after a year, I should be able to speak like reasonably in German. And that definitely has not happened. The thing I think you don't realize is that you think, oh yeah, I'm going to move to Germany, I'm going to learn German. But also, like, you have your life to do as well. Like, sorry, I felt like I was sinking in my chair. It's like, to actually learn another language, you have to dedicate a fair bit of time to it. Like, you have to spend, you know, half an hour or an hour every day. But the normal person's everyday life doesn't always allow for that. Like, it's like, I want to go to the gym or exercise, or I want to make creative things like this, or I'm also learning something else, or like my friends want to have a beer after work, or, you know, whatever else happens. And I'm, you know, still studying guitar and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm just giving a bunch of excuses to basically tell you that my German is really shit. I still haven't progressed very much further than being able to order kebabs. But but getting there slowly. And I think like I didn't anticipate how difficult it would be to get set up here, like to get settled in. I mean, I really don't understand like how the 1 year working visa is really that useful. Like it's actually quite difficult to achieve much in 1 year. Like I'm lucky that I have a degree and I have experience and stuff and I could get a decent job. But if you're just coming here and working in a hotel, like a bar or a cafe or something, like, and I'm super lucky that I had accommodation sorted out before I got here too, because it takes some people like months just to find an apartment. Like some people are living in hostels for like, 3 months or something before they find somewhere to live. So by the time you find somewhere to live and get a stable income and do all the crazy bureaucracy stuff you've got to do, it's it's only now that I've gotten a German driver's license, like a few weeks before I'm theoretically supposed to leave. But yeah, so I've got some other big news. It's been 1 year, but also some big things have happened since the last talk, and that's that I finally got a European citizenship. Well, I had a citizenship, but I finally got a European passport. So now, yeah, I'm properly Maltese citizen, and I have a European passport, and I can stay here indefinitely if I want to. But of course, German bureaucracy means that I have to go and register my address again and everything now that I'm Maltese, not just Australian. But yeah, so that I finally figured that out, weeks before I would have had to have left, and finally got my driver's license so I could properly drive here and everything. But yeah, a lot of this stuff that like is the last parts of getting settled in only just happened before I would have to leave if I was just here on the visa. So yeah, I don't know, maybe some people, I guess like I had in my head the whole time that I will be able to stay longer once I get the passport. So I did things slowly, but yeah, all power to you if you spend 1 year here and manage to get settled in. But yeah, I do feel like now I am kind of settled, apart from not being able to speak German. But I think in the beginning, a lot of my difficulty was just coming from feeling like an outsider and feeling, I guess, not having any confidence because everyone speaking around you is speaking another language. So I think I spoke about this in the last episode, but yeah, it makes you feel stupid. And I think I'm finally starting to get over that. Like, yeah, I don't know, maybe it's like I think it's a confidence thing. Like when you walk around and there's people who are probably got, their life isn't anywhere near as sorted as mine. Jesus, mine? You encounter people in public who are maybe not as capable as I am or something, but I feel intimidated by them and I assume that they're smarter than me or that they're better than me for some reason because I can't understand them. It's like this weird thing where you just feel like you're the stupid one. But I'm starting to kind of get over that now because I'm used to the kind of basic things that you have to say to people, and I'm getting more used to the way people act here, and I'm feeling a little bit more like whatever I can navigate around without feeling so clueless all the time. So yeah, that's made me start to feel a bit more settled. And I think that comfort is kind of changing my my ideas of what I want to do in these videos as well. Like, I guess part of the other reason why I haven't done an episode for a couple of weeks is I started thinking like that, and I've said this a few times, but I always feel like I'm kind of complaining on these podcasts because I think like, oh, that's something funny, like that German such and such is really bad and they never have coriander at the supermarket or something. And I'm like, I can make a joke out of that or something, but But yeah, it kind of just it feels more and more like I'm just being negative all the time, and it's with the intention of trying to be funny, which is a positive thing. But yeah, when you're thinking about things in a negative way all the time, like you're searching for humor in the negative side of something, you just start focusing on negative things all the time. And yeah, like not only do I think that that's negative to listen to, or that some people just will look at it or hear it immediately and just go, "Ah, this is why is he complaining so much?" But it also affects me as well. So yeah, and I think part of it was like feeling clueless and like I don't know what's going on because I'm in a foreign country, and you kind of want to like, yeah, you want to have some upper hand over the other people, so you want to like say, oh, there's something bad about this country or whatever. But yeah, so I sort of took a little bit of a break because I'm kind of trying to reevaluate, like, how can I, yeah, this episode is not so like such a funny one, but how can I be like more entertaining in a positive way? I don't know. I'm figuring it out. You know, it's not necessarily just for this video. I'm just trying to figure out how do I be more positive about everything, because even when you're talking to friends and stuff, sometimes it's funny to make jokes about something being bad, but it's also like, yeah, it's just, then you become the guy that hates everything. So yeah, trying to get out of that. That's why, like, I had some notes written here about things I want to talk about, but I'm just like not sure if these are the kinds of things I want to talk about anymore, because I'm like, I don't really know how to do this in a fun way that's not whinging. I'm really just rambling now, but the things I did have written down here don't make sense anymore, because I wrote them down knowing what it meant that week, and now it's just like I've got written Bravo 6 going bark. I think that's like some reference to a dog meme or something. And I think that was my attempt at bringing some lighthearted humor into it, but I have no idea what I was actually going to say about it. I've also written here that Tony Hawk has 700 kids. Yeah, it's just because I always see Tony Hawk's Instagram page, and he's always talking about some other kid that he has. I'm like, how many kids does this dude have? But yeah, it's also like I'm making fun of Tony Hawk now. One of my like childhood idols. But he does have a ridiculous amount of kids. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that. And yeah, I just wrote, got my passport, got my driver's license. I guess while I'm on this negative kind of thing, I did want to say, and it's very late news now, but there was a Australian snowboarder named Alex Pullen. His nickname is Chumpy, and he passed away like a few weeks ago. And yeah, I wanted to mention it because, I don't know him, but I met him once when I was living at Mount Hotham, and didn't really get to talk to him that much at all or anything. But I kind of idolized him in a way, because I was, super into snowboarding growing up, and one of my things was like I really just wanted to be at the snow all the time, and I thought maybe one day I could have a job like making videos about snowboarding or something. So yeah, I used to watch him race in the Olympics and all that kind of stuff. And I met him once, and I had met a couple of other sort of semi-famous snowboarders at Mount Hotham, and they were a little bit douchey, a little bit like, just like they'll talk to you for a second, but they're like, they just want to use their popularity to, hook up with girls or something. But Chumpy was super nice. Like, he was actually at this local pub in Dinner Plain, where I was actually living in Dinner Plain. And me and one of my really close friends who I was living with there, we met him, and yeah, he was super nice to us and was keen to take photos and stuff. So I just wanted to acknowledge it, because it's a real shame that he passed away, because from all I know, he was a really good dude, and it was just like a freak accident that he was like spearfishing um, at a beach in Queensland. I think it was Palm Beach or something like that. And yeah, he was spearfishing by himself, and somebody else was spearfishing in the area, and they just found his limp body in the bottom of the ocean, and who knows how long he'd been there. And yeah, they dragged him onto the beach and tried to resuscitate him for like 45 minutes and just didn't come back. So it's a real shame. Like you feel so bad for the family, because yeah, I don't know. It's just like, it's always the people that yeah, I don't know what to say about it. You just would not expect it to happen to him, I guess. I don't know. Like, he's a super fit guy. I don't know if he had any like health issues. I mean, he's an Olympian. He's like a 2-time gold medalist Olympian. So yeah, it's crazy. But so sending best wishes to his family, I guess. But it's just crazy. I just wanted to mention that. What else? The last couple of weeks has been really nice here in Berlin. I went out on a boat on the river, just a boat, like a inflatable raft with some friends, and that was good fun. And there's a guy from a band from Australia who's been doing these jams at Tempelhof, which has been awesome because, coronavirus, you can't watch concerts anywhere or anything. So it's kind of like an outdoor concert, which is technically a jam, like anyone can join in, but it's just such talented musicians that it's just like you're watching a proper concert. So that's been awesome. Yeah, because you're out in the open, like people can't complain about the noise because it's in the middle of an airport, like a middle of a runway. So you're so far away from everyone. And you can't really complain about the coronavirus because everyone's outside and there's plenty of space. So it's been really cool. But aside from that, I really don't know what else to talk about other than, oh yeah, I was meant to be talking about living in Berlin for 1 year. God, I went really off track there. So yeah, living in Berlin for a year. Well, what are my thoughts on that? I don't know. It's like when your mum calls you and she's like, what are you been up to? And you're just like, fuck, I don't know. Like, I want to tell you, but I don't know what I've been up to. I can't, What's my first year in Berlin been like? I think I would say that Berlin is not what I expected it to be. At the same time, it is what I expected it to be. But yeah, part of the reason why I wanted to move to Berlin is because I wanted to find like some cool places to work for, and like technical industry, and cool innovative companies and stuff. And I did find that, but I was expecting that's like the general vibe of everyone in Germany is like this progressive, technology and all this kind of stuff. And that's been one of the biggest things for me to get used to in Berlin, is that it's not like that at all. It's like, everyone has this idea that Germans are like super efficient people that are like really like strict and like really, get everything done and efficient basically. And maybe that's true if you live in the south of Germany, or if you work for like Audi or Porsche or, Mercedes or something. But in Berlin, that's so far from the truth. Like, that's the biggest thing for me to get used to here, is just how chaotic it is, like how disorganized everything is, and how old everything is, like how far behind all the technology is. And I know I just finished talking about how I didn't want to speak negatively about Germany, but I'm just describing my experience. It's just not what I expected. So I think, um, I think it was just a big shock for me to, the more you live here, the more you unravel how fucked up it is. Like, basically. So each new thing you discover, each ridiculous piece of paperwork you have to do, and appointment that you have to make for some pointless shit, it's like you realize just how poorly organized all the systems and everything are here. But the like the technology industry, as in like private companies that are based here, like doing music tech and all that kind of stuff, they are really progressive, and that is what I was looking for. It's just a shock that like the rest of everything is so it's just a mess. But yeah, so that was like big thing for me to get used to. Language barrier, it was a bigger hurdle than I initially thought it would be. Like I thought, oh yeah, everyone in Berlin speaks English. I will try and learn German, but whatever. But it has shown to be more of a problem than I thought it would be, especially when you're trying to talk to government bodies or like, phone providers and all that kind of stuff. But still, you can get away with not speaking any English, but not speaking any German. But, sometimes you piss people off if they feel like you should speak German, which is fair enough. What else can I comment on? I guess like the social aspect, I can talk about like my experience getting to know people here. Like basically when I moved here, I only knew one person who was my housemate. Oh, I knew a couple of people, but that I just met traveling and that kind of thing. But what I'll say is that it's very rare to meet Germans in Berlin, especially, and it's even rarer to meet a Berliner in Berlin. I think I've met 3 people from Berlin in 1 year and living in Berlin. Maybe 4, I don't know. But yeah, actual Berliners are quite rare. So yeah, most of the friends I've been making here, I mean, I would say the majority of friends I've made here are Australian, which you might think, yeah, oh, that's stupid. Why would you go to the other side of the world to hang out with Australians? But it's just natural. Like you meet other Australians, you've got so much in common with them. It's natural to become friends. But also, I've become friends with a lot of people through my work, and my housemate's German, so I'm meeting a lot of Germans through her, but none of them are actual Berliners. But yeah, I find that I've got a variety of friends from different countries here now, like, a lot from Australia, some New Zealanders, some of the people at my work who are, Dutch or Brazilian or American. And yeah, I've got some friends who are like Croatian and Polish and yeah, so it's a bit of a mix. But yeah, I guess you don't expect to like integrate with like Berliner or German friend groups because I don't know, kind of, if you think about it, if you live in Australia, like it's pretty rare that somebody who comes into the group from the outside, like a traveler or something, that somebody meets in a bar, like, oh yeah, I've got this friend who's German and they're visiting or whatever. It's pretty rare that they like integrate and become like one of the core members of a friend group, I would say. So it's not like a racist thing. It's just like you just don't relate to them as much as you relate to people that your Australian friends or whatever. So yeah, to expect to like move here and make friends with a bunch of Germans, it doesn't really make any sense. But I don't know. I guess maybe I thought that I would have more German friends. And yeah. What can I say that's positive about Germany? That's an interesting topic that I haven't delved into. Actually, working in Germany is really nice. Even though the company I work for is like the CEO is Brazilian, and a lot of the guys that work there are Brazilian. I think we've got less than 20 staff members, like 18 or something, and there's one German who works for us like 3 hours a month or something. So yeah, we're a very non-German company, but all of the like systems for employees and employers are pretty nice in Germany actually. Like you basically, you just get paid your wage, and they take out superannuation and tax and all that kind of stuff, but they also take out money for your like health insurance and that kind of thing. But there's a bunch of like benefits that you can get from that money that comes out of your like brutto salary, they call it. So there's things you can do, like you can join a gym, which comes out of like your tax money that is like, it's like it's coming out of the money that would go to a tax man, I guess, which is kind of nice. And you can do things like you can rent bikes, or you can rent to buy bikes and stuff, and it just comes out of your tax. So that's pretty cool. God, could I have made this any more boring? Yeah, I guess like something to reflect on is like, how long am I going to stay here now that I can stay here? I've been here for a year. The way I see it right now is like, I really love my job. Like this is, it's definitely the most enjoyable job that I've ever had. Like I'm basically getting paid to do my hobby, which is awesome. Like I really can't imagine like changing my job right now. I'm enjoying it way too much, and I can see a lot of potential in the product and the company and everything. So yeah, right now I don't think like I'm not like hanging out to go back to Australia. But how long I stay here, I don't know. Like I don't know if I want to like settle down and spend the rest of my life in Berlin. I'm pretty sure that I don't. But I at least want to spend some years here getting more experience and stuff. But then when I say that, it's like, I don't know what I'll do if I leave. Like if I go back to Melbourne, it's not like there's many companies making like products that I'm interested in, like music related stuff. So I don't know. It's like the big, the places where you can go to do the kind of work I'm doing is, you can be here in Berlin, or you could be in Tokyo, or you could be in Los Angeles, or maybe like London or something. So yeah, it's like if I want to go back to Melbourne, which, I like, there's things that would make me want to go back to Melbourne, like my friends in Melbourne and my family and everything. But I've just got to figure out, what do I do when I go back there? Like, do I try and set myself up well enough with this company where I can work remotely? Because a lot of the guys that work for them work remotely as well. But then there's a lot of things that I do with like prototyping and physical things where I need to have access to the tools and all the parts that we order and everything. So it becomes difficult to do that from a remote location. Not impossible, but difficult. Or do I try to find, one of the few companies in Melbourne that do this kind of work? One of them, I know a guy that runs a company that make a product that sort of aligns with what I'm interested in. And I've spoken to him before, but, I don't know if he wants to hire me. And then if he doesn't, then that's like all of my options gone. Or do I like try to develop my own product in my own time and try and start my own company that I can sustain myself from, and base that in Melbourne or something, which is a lot more work and a lot more uncertain. So I don't know. Right now, I think my best option is to stay here until I figure it out. Yeah, a few people that I know, like Aussies that were living here for a little bit, that hadn't really figured out what they were doing. As soon as all the corona stuff happened, they went home, understandably, because if you don't really know what you're doing for work, and you're not really sure about your accommodation and stuff, it'd be pretty stupid to get locked down here. But yeah, I didn't feel any temptation really to go home. I mean, the only temptation would be like I'm worried about my parents or something, but I think they'll be fine. Everything seems to be going all right, even though it's a bit crazy in Australia now. But yeah, I had no urge to fly back to Australia and have nothing to do. So yeah, the work life here is awesome. I guess one of the biggest reasons why people come to Berlin, if you're not looking for, a specific career type thing, is the partying. And that's all just gone out the window because the coronavirus. And that's the other thing. There's a lot of things that I wanted to do here that if for whatever reason I couldn't get the passport and I had to go back, there's a lot of things I would have hoped I would have done before I went back. And I couldn't do a lot of them because of the coronavirus. Like I wanted to go traveling to a lot more other countries. My English is getting really bad now. Yeah, I wanted to go and see a bunch of other countries, and I actually haven't left Germany this whole year. So that's a feat in itself. My 1 year anniversary living in Berlin, but also my 1 year anniversary in this country. I haven't left for an entire year. I've been just in Berlin for a whole year. And I mean, it's so easy to go to other countries when you live here. But in the beginning, I just didn't do it because I was looking for work and I was like, need to be tight on money and need to focus just on finding work. And then once I kind of got settled into my job, I was like, all right, now we're not allowed to go anywhere because of Corona. I am going to Denmark in like a week, I guess. Yeah, next Thursday. So I'm pretty excited about that. Get to add a new country to the list. But yeah, I thought, in 1 year living here, I would have visited a bunch of places. Like Prague, for example. I've never been to Czech, and Prague is so close. It's like a 4-hour bus ride or something from here. And I really thought I would have done that within the first few months or something. Just didn't do it. The other thing is that I really wanted to go snowboarding in Europe. Like I said before, growing up, I was obsessed with snowboarding. And I've never been able to snowboard anywhere other than Australia. And I know, the snow in Australia is pretty terrible. So I've never experienced real snow in Europe or in Japan or in America or somewhere. So the fact that I didn't do any traveling other than in Germany. I didn't do any snowboarding and didn't do that much partying or anything because everything was just shut down. It was like, if I left and moved back to Australia now, I would feel like I missed out on a lot of things that I could have done while living in Europe. But I do feel accomplished in what I've done with my job and everything. I was thinking maybe I should do recommendations for somebody who's thinking about moving to Berlin or moving to another country. But I would say most of the recommendations would be kind of technical things of do this form at this time or something, which isn't really that interesting to listen to. I would say apply for the German driver's license straight away because it costs €30 or something and it takes a week to get it. So I should have done that much earlier. Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't change that much, to be honest. I wouldn't change too much of what I've done. I think it's gone pretty well. It's just, things progress slowly. So, and yeah, when there's a pandemic, that slows everything down a lot more. Yeah, I've made lots of good friends here and really enjoy my job, and I'm set up here and I'm comfortable and happy. I've been living here by myself actually for the last 2 months. My housemate's been away, and I've never lived by myself actually for this long either. That's it's also something to celebrate. I don't know. It's like a personal best for me, I guess. Yeah, I've never lived by myself for 2 months before. And I guess I thought it would be kind of lonely, but I'm surprising myself in that I'm just happy and I'm fine. Like, yeah, I'm really trying to think of like, would I have changed anything in this year, or should I have done something different, or whatever? And I just feel good. I think I finally just feel comfortable. Now I'm just settled in and I'm happy with my job, and yeah, life's good. you know? Life is just good. And I guess I'm just now just trying to focus more on how good everything is. Like, maybe that's why I complain about stuff, is because I really don't have anything serious to complain about in my life. I'm quite lucky in that, yeah, there's nothing terribly wrong happening to me. So the most, devastating things I have to complain about is that the supermarket doesn't have any coriander. So I can be grateful for that. So if you're watching this and you've been worried about me or anything, you're worried that I'm lonely because I'm on the other side of the world and all my friends live far away and I don't have a housemate here and I'm single, I can just tell you that I'm happy and I'm loving everything that's happening here. And really, if it all boils down to it, I've got nothing to complain about. So let's see if next episode I can maybe do a little bit more decoration, like I'll put some paintings up, or I'm trying to think of things that I can put on the wall. I want to have pictures of people who are inspiring to me. Like, I was thinking a nice picture I could have on the wall would be of Rick Rubin. He's a producer that I admire. And I was thinking I need because that's the music side of my passion, I need like a design inspiration. And like the only famous designer I can think of is Dieter Rams, but it's not like I admire him. I just know he's done some good designs, so I need to think about that. If you've got any good suggestions of like cool inspirational designers that I might be into, that maybe have some relation to music or something, that would be cool. Let me know. And I'll put up some more pictures, make some decorations and stuff, and I'll get some better music to put on the videos, and I'll think of some more interesting content to talk about, because this episode and the last one I've just been like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just reflecting on who knows. It's all just critical, like meta analysis of myself and why am I making these videos. And yeah. So yeah, that's it. Next episode, hopefully it'll be a lot more organized. I'll have some funny videos to show or something, and I'll be a bit more confident in how I want to conduct this thing and not be just, yeah, whatever. If you got any questions about living in Berlin, let me know. Ask me and I'll answer them. And I hope you're all doing well too. I hope everyone's happy and, and their only problem is finding coriander at the supermarket. Yeah, enjoy your day. If it's morning, today's a new day. See what you can make of it. And if it's nighttime, tomorrow is a new day. So be excited about that. It's nighttime for me, so I'm going to piss off and go to bed. So thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.